I plead the verse, American dream. I plead the first, white shirt, blue jeans. I plead the verse, American dream. I plead the first, white shirt, blue jeans. I plead the verse, American dream.
Hello everybody, it's 5 February 2021, and today it's a solo show. Christina's got some stuff she's trying to take care of, so let her know you're thinking about her, let her know you miss her, write down in the comments. Thank you everybody for all the great support and liking and sharing and putting us out there. We really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about some news. I've been going through the news thinking about what I want to talk about for this episode. We're going to start out with Sheila Jackson. So Sheila Jackson, representative from Texas. Thanks, Texas. You guys got to get your stuff together down there. She has proposed a gun control bill, and it's not a good one, guys. It's not sensible gun control. And I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not really for sensible gun control anyway, because shall not be infringed. But we can go deeper into that and my thoughts about that some other day. Let's talk about specifically what Sheila Jackson wants to do to your Second Amendment rights. She is wanting to make it illegal to own a gun or ammunition without the new license. So this is retroactive law saying that you got to now rush out and ask permission to exercise your rights. And if you don't, then you're illegal. And me just having this sitting on my desk, which that's 450 Bushmaster for all you guys that are wondering, and it's a great round. That's illegal. Me just owning ammunition would be illegal without this new license. Now, you guys are saying, hey, well, we need to make sure, people that are having guns are the right people. To an extent, I agree with you. However, let's answer the question of what does this bill entail? What is she really getting at? What is she asking for? Well, she wants, number one, a psychological evaluation. What goes into that? Are you saying that, hey, if you have PTSD, that you can no longer own a weapon? Who gets to say that? So are you taking weapons out of the hands of veterans like myself? I have PTSD. It's diagnosed. Not going to go into what, why, when, and how, but is it anybody's right to say because I have PTSD that I can't have a weapon? Nobody really has a good, clear understanding of PTSD yet and how it affects people differently. So that's one of my fears as a veteran. Are you coming after my guns as a veteran? I think they are. What else? What other psychological issues are going to preclude you from owning a weapon? And who gets to decide that? That's what's scary. They're not saying who's going to decide what these psychological issues are that preclude you from owning a gun or owning ammunition. Really, really scary to me. What if they just start going down the list and saying if you are diagnosed with any psychological disorder that you can no longer own a gun? Well, guys, I hate to tell you this. We all have disorders. Every single one of us. We all have mental issues. Most of us, unfortunately, are not out getting our stuff taken care of like we should be. Mental health is important. We should be going and getting taken care of ourselves, and we should be seeing professionals just like you would if you injured your knee or you did anything else. Mental health is huge. So now this is a twofold issue. If you really start putting this on gun control, now you're going to get a whole bunch of people that don't want to go see a psychologist, period, because they're scared they're going to lose their Second Amendment rights. So now you're affecting gun control and Second Amendment rights, and you're also affecting mental health and the proper treatment of mental health. This is a terrible idea. I don't know who in their right mind would sign up for this. You guys need to really think these bills through and really let your representatives in your states and your districts know how you feel about this bill that Sheila Jackson is putting forward. And I really don't want to hear anything from the liberals about, oh, they're not gonna take your guns away, or this won't ever pass, or don't worry, the courts will stop it. He's trying to pack the courts. Biden's trying to pack the courts. Packing the courts has happened in the past. There's historical stuff behind this. I get it. I know that, and if I'm wrong, you guys can correct me, but I believe last time somebody packed the courts, it was actually a Republican that tried it. It's not a good idea, no matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. It's not designed that way. We need to not pack the courts. And this gun control bill is a big reason why we need to make sure that they're not doing packing of the courts and they're not getting away with this other stuff, guys. Sheila Jackson, it's incredible that anybody would think that was a good idea. And I'm just going to look at my notes here, make sure I'm not missing anything on this bill because it's scary. And it also requires gun owners to pay for insurance and bans ammunition of 50 caliber or greater. For what? How many mass shootings have you heard of, guys, that were somebody brought a Barrett 50 cal? Like, it just doesn't happen. They're just attacking stuff that they think they might be able to get rid of. And it's, okay, hey, not a lot of the gun community owns 50 cal, so maybe we can start eroding away at that. We can't, it's a slippery slope. You can't allow anything, because when you start allowing stuff to be restricted or taken away altogether, what's next? They're going to go to the next thing and the next thing. And let's look here. There would also be a license for military style weapons, which the bill defines as broad range of semi-automatic rifles and handguns, as well as some shotguns. They're going after everything here, guys. This is their holy grail. They've been looking for this for a long time. They think this next 2-year slot where they own Congress and the presidency, they think this is maybe their only shot to get some crazy stuff in like this. So you better be writing your congressman and letting them know what you think about this stuff, because it's just terrifying. And I guarantee you, I won't comply. I'm just putting that out there right now. I won't comply. Without new licenses, you couldn't sell anything to anyone that doesn't have a license. So you're gonna have to be required to show your license just to do a private sale. Guys, there's a lot to this. They're changing the minimum age to 21 for any firearm. So your kid you can't go buy your kid a shotgun at 18 or whatever. National Firearm Registry, that's the other big thing. And people have talked about this for a long time. Why do you need a firearm registry? Why do you need a national registry? Why do you need a national serialized registry of who owns what? So you can take them away. And that's long-term plans, guys. I know that everybody's probably listening to me now saying, oh my God, roll my eyes. That's not going to happen, Joe. What else do you need it for? It's not, you can still track weapons, right? Like everybody gets ran. It's easy to find somebody that purchased a weapon legally and committed a crime with that gun, right? That's why when you find criminals that have gotten away with crimes with a gun, they didn't purchase that weapon legally. They stole it. It's been illegally owned for years and years, or it's been passed from criminal to criminal, and that makes it hard to trace. My guns in my gun safe, they're not hard to find. If they want to find out, what guns I have, it's pretty easy for them to do so. We don't need a national registry. This is them lying to you so that they can make it easy to come confiscate your weapons later on when they pass a bill that says no more guns, period, point blank. So that's it. I'm going to stop talking about gun control now. We're going to move on to something different, something else. It's Super Bowl week, right? So a lot of my guys that watch this, they know I'm a big football guy. And hey, we may have a show or two, or maybe a segment, short period of time, someday where we just talk football stuff. A lot of you guys that know me know I'm a huge Chiefs fan. We're in the Super Bowl. We're facing Tom Brady. And unfortunately, we are being lambasted with political crap during Super Bowl week. And people are actually asking the question, should Tom Brady have to pay for his past support of President Trump? Let that sink into your head for a moment. Should he have to pay for supporting President Trump? The president. He was a president. 75 million of us supported him, right? And they want to make you pay for that. That is disgusting. That is an attack on your First Amendment rights, right? Because you have every right to support a president, a candidate, whoever you want. I don't care if you're a communist. You have the right to support that communist candidate. I don't like it. I'm going to tell you I don't like it. It's not good. And maybe that's where the left is going with this, is they feel Trump is that much of a problem and they feel he's evil. And that, you know, I guess you should have to pay for supporting evil. I'm trying to think of where they're coming from. I really am. I want to know where they come from. I don't get it. I don't like what's happening now today because President Biden is in office. I don't like the things that are happening. They're affecting me. They're affecting my family. I'm not going to lambaste somebody or say that they should have to pay because they voted for him. That's crazy. I will never get down that road. And I just can't imagine going so far down that road that I want to make somebody pay for supporting President Biden. Tom Brady is a celebrity. He's probably the greatest quarterback of all time for now. And I think that's why they want to make him pay, is because he's popular. Everybody loved him for so long. Still, most people with sports media still loves him to death. I think a lot of people still view him as the greatest even today. And your casual fans probably still think he's the best quarterback in the league today. And I think because he's popular, that's a threat to them. If he doesn't fall in line with their agenda and say, oh yeah, I support President Biden, I support President Obama, I definitely don't support Trump. That doesn't fit their agenda. They want every celebrity, they want every person with any bit of fame and any bit of influence, which is key, to stand behind the Democratic Party. That's what they're going for. We've talked about before on this channel that the main thing that they want to control is information. Information controls knowledge, and you do that through influence, right? So people will listen to certain other people. There are tons of people that they're big fans of Tom Brady or Jay-Z or whoever you want to name, whatever celebrity you want to name. And if said celebrity gets out there and says, oh, I really support Donald Trump, then they're more likely to go look into that and say, maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe I should support Donald Trump. And that's what the Democrats are scared of. And maybe I shouldn't say Democrats there. Maybe I should say the left, because I do know there are Democrats that are still sane. They're still out there, guys. And I don't want to be one of the guys that's treating those sane Democrats that just have a different political view than I do differently or poorly because I'm linking them to the radicals of their party. So when I say the left, I'm talking about the radicals. And unfortunately, I believe the radicals are controlling the narrative right now in the media and everything that we read and see. And then that creates a tendency to want to say the Democrats. I don't think it's the whole Democratic Party. I don't think every Democrat is crazy like this. I really don't. I hope not. And I actually know so, because I have friends and stuff that are Democrats, and they're reasonable people. You can talk to them. I still don't agree with most of their economic and social policy ideas. I just don't, and that's okay. But they see my side, I see their side, and that's the way we should be, which kind of brings me into this next thing as we kind of transition out of talking about Tom Brady and making someone pay for who they support politically. Why do we have to treat each other like dehumanize each other, I think is what I'm really looking for. That's scary, guys. We can't be dehumanizing each other. And I was kind of listening to something earlier that was talking about how in war, we have a tendency to dehumanize the enemy, and I would say it's almost a requirement for the human brain to kind of come to terms with the horrible things that we have to do in war. So that's where offensive terms like gook and things like this have come up, kraut and all these other terms that have come up just in our history. These terms have come up to dehumanize the enemy, and that was a concerted effort in some cases to dehumanize the enemy, to make it easier to kill the enemy. And I think we're doing that in politics today, and we got to be really careful, guys. We don't want to do that. It happened with a lot of recent events. You kind of, I mean, BLM. We did some of that with BLM. We wouldn't call them human beings. We just call them rioters. Or the Capitol. They called them insurgents and invaders and everything else crazy under the sun. No, they're people. And what we need to realize is that you can end up in those situations. And one of my favorite people to listen to, it may be a little dry for some people, but Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot, where you have to realize that the people that were running the internment camps and all these crazy Nazi camps, they're people. They were just people. They got talked into doing that crazy, horrible stuff to the Jews. And it's terrible. But they're human beings, which means we're all capable of falling that far. And I think we need to understand that on both sides, the radicals, we're all capable of getting there. And we need to be careful of that, and we need to watch out for each other. So I'm going to try to do a better job of labeling the other side. We have to have some kind of labels, because we have to have terminology that everybody can understand. Otherwise, it becomes really hard just to have a normal conversation. So that's why I've chosen to say the left. I think it's probably the least insulting way to say that's their ideology. And they are certainly a group that share very similar ideologies, almost all of them. I know everybody has their own nuanced opinions about things. I just don't want to go as far as to say, and I've done it before, man. I've said lefties and libtards and all that stuff. I've said all that stuff before because they make me angry sometimes, and that's okay. I'm sure I make them angry sometimes too. But just the message as we close out this video is be careful about treating people a certain way because of their political views, because we don't like it when they do it to us. And we have to start setting the example because, let's be honest, we're the adults in the room. And I know my friends on the left aren't going to like me saying that, but it's the truth, right? We're conservatives. I consider myself a libertarian, but that comes with a lot of conservative views. And we're the adults in the room, man. They aren't thinking that way. So we got to set an example for them. Let's start doing that. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a little bit of a long episode. I'm going to watch this, see if I even like it. If you see it posted up, then it must have passed my quality assurance. So thank you for tuning in. This is a Friday episode. I don't know how this will go over, just me talking to myself, guys, but let me know what you think about it. We're probably going to have to do a few more of these here and there, whether it's me that can't make it, or it's Christina that can't make it, or Grace, or anybody. We're going to have to do a couple of these sometimes. So let me know what you think about them. And thank you for supporting, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Have a great weekend. Go Chiefs!
I could really use a change of scenery. Yeah. Everybody smoking all the greenery. Yeah. Close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know. I'm still fly, let's go.